If our plan works, Filbert will glow up. But if it doesn't, we'll all blow up. This week on The Hapless Heroes.
Yeah, there's a hamster that is sick, and somebody told them not to take care of him. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of the Hapless Heroes podcast. I am Francesco, and I am your host and DM as we continue. This would be attempt number 3 at stopping the foul upheaval, or just adventuring into the past and trying to figure out what the hell to do with this mess that's happening in Uhl right now.
Well put, Fran. Couldn't have said it better myself.
Couldn't have. I just, you guys have gone in so many different directions. It's really hard for me to kind of summarize what this even is anymore.
No one would even be able to tell, Fran. That was smooth. Smooth as silk butter.
As long as all of our participles are still in place.
With me tonight is a great cast of characters. Some of my closest friends, in fact. Saying all these nice things about me. You know them. You love them. We have Dave playing Zero, Valen's Avatar of War.
It's good to be back.
Nicole as Boris the Butcher.
Hi there.
Phil as Hedrick the Entertainer.
This kid's a real square.
Zach as Pregnart.
I love to splash.
And John as Lord Jarrell the Light.
We have to find that bellboy and get him to find us that hamster again.
Do we?
Mm-hmm. We're all firing on all cylinders tonight. We're doing great.
Yep, fantastic.
Yeah. This hasn't been a crazy Monday for any of us. Mike, a.k.a. Lord and Captain Quinn Southwind, is out this week, but he will be rejoining us in a couple weeks. However, he's going to be taking a nice little spa day. As soon as you guys get checked into the Garden Inn, Quinn is going to have himself just a little me time, because what else would Quinn do when he's not adventuring with the party besides doing something incredibly selfish and self-serving that really has nothing to do with anything that you guys are doing right now? So, we did leave off, though, I think, on the back of a wagon with half of you. There we had Boris, we had Quinn, and we had Hedrick heading towards the Garden Inn to figure out what to do with Filbert, whom you've kind of kidnapped / rescued from the tower and from, I guess, facing whatever he was about to face with his father Ebenezer. And we're pursuing. I think that this is the she's all or he's all that angle plan, or at least some version of it is kind of what's unfolding at this point. And we had Pregnart and Jarrell lagging behind, with also Zero stuck at the tower, being surrounded by very curious professors and teachers trying to understand what exactly Zero is. So
did they try
before we get? What's that?
Did they try just asking him?
I mean, they've probably been asking him a whole bunch of questions. I guess we'll have to check in. I was going to say...
anytime you ask Zero that, it's a very long answer.
Right. I feel like Zero is one to be able to just kind of keep talking, but yet no one will actually have any idea what he's just said.
Yeah, except all the previous times, you were only asking Zero. They're asking...
That's also true.
They're asking a team. And we're gauging it to our audience. The answer is vastly more complicated.
Mm-hmm.
It's really how much time they got.
Well, it's been several hours.
Okay, so we're at about chapter 1.5.
Now, the thing is, the meeting was cut slightly short after the explosion in the cafeteria. mainly due to the fact that, I think that some of the staff was kind of responding to whatever incident was happening, and they decided to take a break from their questioning. But they were just trying to get to the bottom of, what exactly you are. I'm not sure how much information you actually managed to divulge in the time in which it took everybody to.
The first
to the
3 to
cafeteria
4
and all that
hours
stuff.
are going to be mostly ontological arguments. A lot of, what is, the nature of being, the nature of consciousness. The spiel is about 5 hours before we get to the part where I was built in Kelnor. I'm sure that's going to blow their minds too, because it's still essentially uninhabited desert island at this point.
Well, at this point, Zero, you also find yourself without one of those access runes because of the fact that you've been stuck here for a while and everybody else left without you.
Yeah, but they're faculty. We'll be okay.
You're not, however. You may have to, get yourself something, because now people are now responding to an incident that has just happened. And now there seems to be a buzz about the school that Filbert, Ebenezer's son, has gone missing from the infirmary. He was last seen with someone who was calling themselves Sally Hines, but there is no student named Sally Hines on record at this institution. Jarell and Pregnar, you're starting to catch wind of the same at this point, because I know Pregnar was a little, lagging behind a little bit at the splash pad. He really didn't want to go.
Oh yeah. He
So
likes
that's
the
where you
splash.
guys are currently. And I just want to resolve what's happening at the tower before we get to the real juicy meat and potatoes of what's happening with our party. So we just get you guys to the Garden Inn and we'll go from there. So let's start with Zero. People haven't heard from you in a bit, so let's just kind of resolve what's happening up on the 25th floor. Some of the professors are being like, listen, this has been fascinating, and we have so many more questions. I feel like we've only barely scratched the surface of what exactly you are. And you said you're a guest of Dr. Hines.
Yes.
Okay, well, you must come see us again. Please, our door is always open. We'd love to even, have you maybe even teach a guest seminar if you'd be interested.
Absolutely. In fact, I can think of only 1 or 2 things I would rather be doing with my time, and I'm not sure those are even going on right now. So this sounds really good. Is there a point of contact I could reach out to set something up maybe in about 3 days?
Well, why don't we'll give you a guest pass if you haven't gotten one.
Wonderful. That was going to be the next question.
We'll speak to Mildred. Mildred Skutterboot is one of the lead administrators here at the tower, and she typically handles a lot of the comings and goings of our guests. So just have her refer you to the advanced magical physics department. And
Advanced magical physics. Oh, wonderful.
Yeah, we're a small group, but we just have so many questions, and it's just you're just such an intriguing person. I've never met anyone quite like you. And you're magnetic. Fascinating. We'll make sure that just please give us a heads up if you were to walk by our classroom door. We'll do our best not to leave the door open during experiments such as this moving forward.
Yeah, I've been trying to shake the last little bit of Ferrisness. You know how it goes.
I actually genuinely don't, which is something I would love to ask you about at our next meeting.
Fantastic. We'll be reaching out probably about 3 days from now.
Sounds good. We look forward to hearing from you.
Absolutely. Now, you said I need to get in touch with Mildred.
We'll take you to Mildred's office.
Oh, thank you so much.
So they escort you there. Mildred, isn't really like she's actually already left her office, and so this person is like, well, she won't mind, and he actually does the thing and creates one of these access rooms for you. This will be good for the next 3 days. You will have to renew it upon after you leave the next time. So, but you should, make yourself comfortable. Just, please, your comings and goings will be monitored through the stone anyways. So just, and your access is limited to only what areas, our guests can access. But you'll find everything that you're looking for and more here at the tower.
Fantastic. I cannot wait to start perusing these libraries.
Have a wonderful day, sir, but just please steer clear of the 15th floors. There's been an incident, and we will also have to just make sure unless there's something very serious going on, to not make use of our infirmaries or traverse, there to inspect the facilities, as those are off limits currently.
Zero looks at his hand, rotates it 540 degrees, looks at it, spins it back another 720. Yeah, I'm not sure the infirmary would be much assistance. Now, anywhere that my pass will let me go, I am assumed to be good to go to, correct?
Yes, just if if anyone asks any questions, just show them your pass.
Fantastic. Good. So the permissions on this will keep me out of trouble on their own. I appreciate it. Thank you so much for your help and for your hospitality. We very much appreciate it.
Cannot wait to speak with you again. Where do you go first, Zero? Where would you intuitively want to go first in the tower to try to find your people?
Now, the plan for the garden in Redux hasn't been discussed yet, right?
Not with you.
Splash pad it is.
Okay. You can see when you arrive a scene of Jarrell trying to coax a very reluctant Pregnart out of one of the larger pools, where he is currently trying to entertain a group of very excited children and their parents.
Give the people what they want.
Jarrell will be being fairly patient. Is he still in his swim trunks? I can't remember if I got back in my armor or not.
I don't know if you did.
I can't remember. It doesn't really matter too much. He's just kind of patiently waiting for Pregnart to do... I don't know how long it's going to take Pregnart to get bored here. That's the problem.
Pregnart is animating and doing voices for like what seems to be like a hummingbird sitcom made out of water in the air. And this is like sort of like the tearjerker final scene. He's wrapping it up as quickly as he can. The hummingbird father is having a heart-to-heart with the hummingbird son about responsibility and
oh my god.
Yeah.
The hummingbirds and the hummingbees.
Yeah.
Can we just get like a little snippet of what that would sound like with Pregnart narrating it?
Yeah, he goes,
Yes, yes, son, this is the lesson that you have to learn, and you have responsibility now, and you have to do your hummingbird job, and you have to do a good job, and no more stealing flowers, and no more doing bad things. Oh yes, hummingbird dad. Yes, I will do a good job. Thank you. This is a good lesson for me.
I'm so glad I asked. Not even going to make you roll a performance check. I think that you get the message. Actually, you know what? No, make me a performance check.
Sure,
yeah,
sure.
Actually, I am going to make you make a performance check. And then while
not?
you're doing that, I just have a quick question for Hedrick and Boris. Before you guys left, did you tell Jarrell that you were leaving? I forgot if we established. I believe that you did say, "Hey, we're gonna head to the Garden Inn and we'll meet you there," right?
Boris was, she made it quite apparent how much airtime he actually had inside her,
I see.
her bag, and told Jarrell with great urgency around everybody else.
That's why I was just trying. Yeah, I was just trying to make sure that exchange. It's been a couple weeks for us, right? So I just want to make sure that we had that established. That Jarrell does know where everybody else went.
I don't believe he knew that Filbert was in my pocket, though.
No, I think that was only something that Quinn and Hedrick know.
Yeah.
And it was only something you shared with Quinn initially.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Just making sure that we have the facts here. Anyways, so that's the scene. 24. Oh wow. I mean, people, you've moved hearts and minds with this performance, Pregnart. You really have.
Nearly a nat 20.
Yeah, lots of applause, and some of the mothers are weeping.
Yeah.
You've just told such a compelling story, and like everyone is just like, like all the kids are happy and cheering, and the parents are moved, and it's a great scene. And yeah, Jarell is really having a hard time trying to like get you to leave when you're on a roll right now, Pregnar.
Yeah.
Zero, you walk into this scene because I mean at this point now Pregnar has drawn a crowd, and Jarell is just kind of like standing there sheepishly like Pregnar, it's time to go.
Kind of anxious because he knows that we're not supposed to be using magic, but nobody seems to mind in this particular instance.
In this case,
water magic.
this is
at
like
the
right.
splash pad.
Cantrip
cantrip level, like
it's
water
harmless,
magic.
it's fun. The kids are enjoying it, so I doubt anybody would really get mad at us, but he's still kind of like concerned where the line is still there.
Uh-huh. Yeah, no one's really seemed to try to actually explore where the line was. Zero made an attempt last, when he was trying to
Pregnar was
study up on
also-
Ulian law.
Yeah,
However,
after Pregnar got in trouble last time, he was trying to justify that he was trying a lower level spell to see if it got him in less trouble.
Yeah, I was being very scientific about it. Stepping down slowly, titrating spell slots, if you will.
So how do you approach the scene, Zero? Because I want to cut the camera back soon.
Yep. Zero is assiduously avoiding stepping in any puddles or water because if my feet swell, they're not going back down for like a week. So we're trying to not, keep the wood down there in reasonably good shape. So a little bit of, kind of picking his way over and around, maybe like some little lily pads or something like that are sticking out to, keep from getting wet. And I'm sure it creates a very interesting contrast with this big hulking dude trying to step gently through the water and eventually approach as close as he can, at least to what's going on. I feel like I don't really need to do much to make myself known since my figure will do that for me.
Yeah, that's fair. Okay, so yeah, everyone, you guys are aware. So we're just gonna kind of cut the camera for a bit. You guys are still trying to like get Pregnar to like it's time to go. Right, you're lagging behind a bit, but we'll address that. That gives me a window, right, for Boris and Hedrick to kind of play without the influence of the adults, I guess, of the group. As far as just mentally and also in Boris's case, Anyways, so we cut to the wagon. It's we cut to actually the Garden Inn. So you guys are pulling. You've already pulled up at this point, and you've made it to the front desk. Boris, are you approaching with the same plan as before? Drop a bunch of gold bricks on the counter, and be like, "We want the best room you got. Don't ask any questions."
Do I know what the room? Did I know? I guess I would have because it's Boris and her perception is really good. So, what was the room number that we were in last time?
You guys were just in like the penthouse suite.
The penthouse suite. Okay, so I put one gold. I just fast track it. I put the first gold ingot on the desk right away and say this is for the penthouse, and then put a second one down and just say this one's to not ask any questions about us grabbing the penthouse.
Now, you have Filbert with you in disguise, if I remember correctly. You guys had given him some sort of like costume or just something to kind of like help mask his appearance.
Yeah, between Quinn and Hedrick, he's got a fake nose, he's wearing a wig, he has a hat on, and we've changed his like overcoat, which is actually a little too big for him. So we kind of stuffed his other jacket by his belly to make it look like he has a big belly.
Okay, sounds good. So Filbert kind of like leans over to you and he just goes, "Sally, you're fucking loaded. What are you not telling me?"
Boris just leans back over to Filbert and says, "You have no idea, but we'll get into it once we're up there."
The front desk employee has a very similar reaction to the the first time you did this, except it's a different employee because you're here on a different day. And they're just like, "This is okay. Like, you know that you're overpaying for this Oh, right. The no questions. I'm already breaking the rules. I'm so sorry. It's just, I've never seen this much. Okay. Yes, the room is all yours. Just give us a few moments to get it. Make sure it's all set for you. Just come with me. I'm just gonna pop in there first to make sure that it's all made up for you.
Lovely. Thank you.
Quinn doesn't even listen to you guys. He just blasts right past both of you and gets to the door before anybody else. As soon as the guy unlocks it, Quinn just he's like, my work is done, goes into where the bathtub is, and just begins to begin his spa day and spa experience. So the bathtub is otherwise occupied for the remainder of this session. And the I guess concierge says, if there is anything that we can do for you, don't hesitate to ask, or call up for room service. We'll take care of whatever you need.
Boris turns to him. She holds up another gold ingot and says, "This one is to keep all hamsters off premises for the next 72 hours," and hands it over.
That is an incredibly specific request, but yes, we will. You will never see a hamster for as long as you are staying with us for the next 72 hours. I will personally guarantee it, miss.
So now's a bad time to order the cooey, right?
Perfect. Thank you.
Okay, and then they leave, and you have the room again. And Filbert's just like, okay, what's going on? Who are you, Sally? What's happening here? How are you so loaded?
So Boris pulls her robe over her head. So she's I'm assuming that she was just wearing her armor underneath her robe. That sounds Boris. So she just
I think that's what you said you were doing.
Pulls her robe over, so she's just fully armed and holds out her hand to him. She's like, "Hi, my name's Boris. I'm from the future. You might be destroying the world. Your dad might be destroying the world, but either way, this is very much about that not happening."
Okay, all right, hold on. Is this some sort of prank or something like that? Do you have any idea what's going? What are you doing here? First, you're lying to me. You just kidnapped me. Do you have any idea who my dad is? Do you have any idea what he might do if he finds out that you just took me from this? I would have rather faced him.
Listen, son.
Myself.
We know who your father is, and there's a reason why we weren't talking to him. We're talking to you because you're more important. And right now, you just need to sit back and breathe and and listen.
I can't. He's probably already looking for me. My family's probably already looking for me. You guys are are you trying to extort him for money or something like that? It clearly doesn't seem like you need money. Is this a kidnapping? Am I safe?
You are totally safe, and you jumped in my pocket voluntarily.
Yeah, because I thought you were trying to help me.
We are both trying to help you and the end of the world. They're kind of going together right now.
You couldn't have told me your real name?
Well,
when we started this? Now I trust you a lot less.
I mean, I would have, but I had already told everybody else my name was Sally in order to get the key card and the uniform.
Okay. You said you're from the future. What do you mean you're from the future? Wait a second. Is this about the convergence?
Almost.
Is it already happening? What? Okay. You need to tell me. You need to tell me what's happening. You need to tell me what's happening.
Yeah, I mean, magic is crazy in the future. We're all probably gonna die. There's a bunch of dead people trying to kill us, and I'm pretty sure it's either your dad or possibly you. I think it's your dad.
Listen, I may have my disagreements with my dad, but there's no way he'd do anything like that. My whole issue with my dad is that I'll never be as good as he is. That's different. I could never see him doing anything so evil.
And now, how about you? How do you feel about zombie armies and living forever?
I'm not a particular huge fan of anything like that. Like, I understand that. Listen, we're taught in school that sometimes there are positive uses for necromancy, but not everybody agrees. It's one of those schools of magic that is misunderstood and frowned upon. I don't particularly practice much of it, but I see where it's necessary. It's one of the schools of magic, and it should be taught in some way.
Is there an uncle? What's going on here?
So were you yourself not planning to maybe destroy the entire city later this evening?
No. Wait, is this... What do you know?
We know that you're upset.
The people who know aren't in the room.
Filbert, we know it can't be easy living in the shadow of your father. And you're unhappy. And I understand the want and the need to be known. You have to understand, we are acting for the sake of the world. Because in 3 days, something will happen here that will change the course of time and send the world into a spiral of darkness. And we need you. We've asked you. You came willingly, albeit she gave you a different name. Her intentions were all the same.
Look, I can't talk about this with you. It's nothing personal. But I literally can't. But what I had, he seems like at a loss for words, because he's you can see him there's the gears are turning a little bit for him.
We have
no way. I did the math. I did the math a million times, and I was assured this is gonna be it's gonna be perfect. No.
Our brilliant robot demon doctor should be here shortly to go over the math with you. I think he's a little more familiar than the rest of us are.
But wait, what happens in 3 days?
Everything explodes.
It's something,
and then the world goes crazy.
It's been called the foul upheaval, and it is a decimation of this entire city. The ley lines themselves are completely altered. And the only thing that comes from this place in our time is death and destruction. It is all centered on this convergence. It is all centered through the actions of your family. And one way or the other, we are going to stop it. And I think you can save yourself as well as everyone you love if you just consider your options. Death and destruction, possibly saving the world. Now, I don't care how powerful you may or not be, it's not going to matter when you play the key role in changing the future.
That's all I've ever wanted to do, was just do something good. Do something that people would look at me and be like, oh, hey, that Filbert kid's all right. Not, Filbert's such a fuck up. Because I feel like that's what I hear all the time. That's how I feel all the time. That I just can't do anything right. All I want is to do something right. But how am I supposed to believe you? Just a few minutes ago, this girl was telling me she was someone completely different. I could have died in your bag of holding. I was running out of air in there.
You had 10 minutes and you still had a solid 45 seconds when I opened the pocket. You were fine.
Filbert, just think about it for a second. What do you think would have happened in that cafeteria if we hadn't shown up?
I don't need to be reminded of all the ways that I've made mistakes. And like I told you, it's because everyone would just not stop telling me what to do and wouldn't let me just focus on what I had to do.
No, the first time we were here, they let you focus and everything blew up worse.
Students died.
What, you just
The
you just
accident.
watched it happen?
No, we didn't know about it till the second time.
We were too late to intervene. But today, we were able to make a difference for the better, and it was all to meet you.
I just don't know what to do with this information.
I know it's a lot to process.
This is a lot. This is
Look, you want something to eat? Are you thirsty? Let's get some water in here. Look, we
No,
are
you
not-
don't understand. My dad's probably looking for me right now. Like if we're gonna I can't.
Where is safe?
He's like starting to panic now. I don't know. I feel like I don't know what to do. I wish you would have never just taken me. I would have rather just been at home and just dealt with. I'll just go deal with what I did wrong, and I'm just gonna be a good student, and I'm just not gonna I don't want to do anything. Okay, I don't want to hurt anyone else, and I don't want to get involved in whatever crazy shit you guys are planning. Like I want to go home.
I'm not planning anything. We are trying to deal with one moment after the other. Because we're not blaming you. We understand your feelings. I'm not saying
Sure
you're wrong for
sounds like-
feeling them.
Sure sounds like you're blaming. You
I'm
said I was
saying-
responsible for causing like the end of the world or something like that.
Well, have you considered
Well, it's
the
your dad.
I just don't see how that's possible.
Have you considered the possibility that there is more to you than you know? Because frankly,
I used to think that.
what you have to understand is there is untapped potential within each and every one of us. And sometimes it
What?
only takes a moment, a single thing, to spark that potential. And unfortunately, your potential may have chaotic and catastrophic results. And we're here to help you tap that potential in a good way, a controlled way, a way you can understand. Because it doesn't matter how sharp the blade is if you don't know how to use it.
Okay. Let me just think for a second. Can I just have a second?
Take your time.
You said you have friends coming to. How many more of you are there?
On this timeline, there's 2, but we just lost one, so 3. Just give me a minute. We're gonna cut back to the tower for a second, because Filbert is just a little overwhelmed right now. He doesn't really seem to be willing to talk too much about what you guys are referencing, because he doesn't know how much you know. And I think it's probably understandable for there to be some trust issues on account of the whole starting off lying to each other. So we'll see if we can smooth some things over as more people arrive. How are we looking though at the tower? Pregnart, are you slowing down at all in your performances?
I was ready to roll credits at the end of the last
okay,
scene,
perfect.
So
Well, in that case, we're ready to. We'll just take you guys right to the Garden Inn. Zero, I believe that's where you you knew that's where they were going. Jarrell knew that's where they were going at this point. Everyone is kind of in the
I
loop.
asked and you said the Garden Inn was never mentioned, so I didn't.
Not
know
to you.
that's
Well,
where
yeah,
they
but then
were
you.
To you.
Okay, well, we're kind of yada yadaing now. So we've wrapped up at the tower, and you've
Jarrell
made
will let you
contact with
know.
Jarrell.
Yeah.
Yeah, we kind of assume, okay, you've made contact with your friends. They're
Yeah,
going to
there
tell
we
you
go.
what's going on. You know what I mean? We've already had that happen. So,
When Jarrell arrives, he will go straight to the front desk and pull out another gold ingot and say, I need you to find me a hamster riding a unicycle with a little red fez on it, and he'll put that on the table and just walk away up to the room that he assumes is still ours.
Okay, so Pregnart, you see, and Zero sees this hotel employee looking. But wait, and they look down at this gold ingot they've been handed, and then their pockets are probably still heavy from the other gold ingots they were just handed to specifically not do this very thing.
Gonna quit.
Zero picks up on it. So you've been giving some conflicting instructions from some of my compatriots, yes?
You're all together, huh? I mean, yes,
look,
sir, I have.
Look at me. Do I look too strange to be with any other party?
Okay, fair point. Yeah.
Okay, good.
I was told that under no circumstances no hamsters at all anywhere on the premises for the next 3 days.
Then just tell him you couldn't find one. Trust me.
This is a lot of money. This is like.
It is. Well, they're both a lot of money.
Yeah, and I just. You're
Actually,
not gonna
we
hurt.
don't need that
He's not
hamster.
I'll smooth it over.
Actually, we do need to have the hamster. So you have to listen to the guy who just said the thing.
Pregnart, you are not helping.
Yeah, well, you're not helping.
wait.
You get Harold back.
Every other person.
Did we
gives it
forget
all.
what happened last time we had Harold?
Yeah, no, we need to help Harold.
Do we have time to help Harold?
Probably. We had time, plenty of time last time.
You're a whole day ahead of schedule this point, so.
You know what?
Squeeze
Zero
that
turns
hand
to
against
this.
man.
Stupid
You know what?
fish pies.
There's no way you can make
people around.
He turns to the there's no way you're going to make all of them happy. My advice to you is you can't take it with you. Use it while you can. And Zero heads on up to the room.
And Pregnart stays behind and says one more time.
But seriously, that hamster is riding the unicycle. It whistles a song, and it has hat on, and it needs help. So you should give it to us.
These
Bye.
poor bellhops.
Okay.
Bye. That is the final the word of us. Goodbye.
Okay. And you leave to this person to become incredibly conflicted as to what the fuck they're supposed to do right now. So we'll check
You
back
should
in
not
on
be
room service later.
confused. I told you very clearly what to do. Bye.
All right, everyone's back to the room. There is now a do not disturb sign on in the bathroom. So they are just, so Quinn is obviously deep into his spa session now.
Right.
Actually, now that I have mentioned it and I'm thinking of it again, I'm so curious what the hell that one guy was doing that was running away with that pie.
Oh, right. Yep. That's a tomorrow problem, though.
Damn.
Well, it could be a today problem, but as you walk into the door, because at this point Filbert's taken off his disguise, like you guys are inside and like in private. You can see Filbert is sitting at a table with his head in his hands, like kind of like rocking back and forth, just like looking like he doesn't really know what's going on or what to do. And like Boris is sitting there and Hedrick is sitting there, like just with the kid.
Boris is sitting with him and has like a large sheet of paper with like a stick figure drawing of what's supposed to be the Ebenezer construct from the future. He's pointing at it.
And he's like, I can't take any. Like, you just like, can you just give me a second because I can't. I just can't even.
Pregnart says,
Wow, look! It looks like you've gotten the full Heroes of Taldoria treatment.
Jarrell will put his shield and his helmet on the table and say, "Oh, who is your new friend there, Boris?" Because he's never seen Filbert before, so.
Oh my god, you actually don't even know what the kid looks like.
I know.
Zero? Sorry, we've been interrupted.
Yeah,
Zero
actually,
twice
Zero wouldn't know either. I don't think Zero and Filbert were ever in the same place at the same time either. So he's very interested in hearing the answer to Jarl's question.
now. Which
So-
also means that Pragnar doesn't either.
Boris's answer is
I think
to like
Pragnar actually is inferring who it is.
Boris's answer is to point at her drawing of Ebenezer and then point at Filbert.
Okay, so first question. How much does he know?
Honestly, probably more than I do. My explanation has been terrible.
Okay.
I have been told that you're from the future, and apparently either me or my dad has caused some sort of apocalyptic scenario, and I just don't understand.
I thought we
Okay.
agreed not to
Let-
tell everyone we were from their future this time.
I don't think. Okay, I'm not sure he counts as everyone, but I'd like to go to my
What
next
do you mean
question.
this time? What do you mean this time?
Yeah, it
Well-
seems like this is like the main guy who we should be like telling a lot to and trying to convince not to be a bad guy.
Okay, how much does he know that we know?
Hedrick will fill Zero in, at least to the extent that he can.
Excellent. Does anybody have a shovel in their kit?
Wait, what do you need a shovel for?
To
Filbert
unbury
asks.
all these leads. So, all right. When you are ready, he turns to Filbert, we need to begin at the beginning.
I mean, I guess. Fire away. How much worse could it get?
Okay. So, here's what we do know. Zero reaches into his bag, pulls out a map of modern-day Teldoria. All right. So we are here. What we do know is 3 days from now, something happens. He indicates the edge of the crater. Everything out to about here. We don't really... You know, maybe somebody should have asked for a map of modern day Uul so we have something to compare against, but what we say, this is about 150 clicks or so. Everything inside 150 clicks is straight up gone.
Let me
The
go run to
two-
the front desk. I'll get one.
And Pragnar pops out the door of the suite.
The 200 past that are nothing but a desolate wasteland inhabited by nothing but the undead. Now, the actual mechanics of how we got there, we're not 100% clear on. But we're getting to that. Now, what we do know is that somebody purporting himself to be Ebenezer is causing a few issues. Now, from what we gather of having met your old man already, he doesn't really seem like the sort of guy. Am I right?
Yeah, that's what I was just. Yeah, that's what I was literally just telling. Boris, was it? Right,
Yeah.
not Sally.
Not
No.
Sally.
It would actually... So, you want to know why you're not getting the real names? Because the real names wouldn't mean a damn thing here. I have the august pleasure of introducing you to Boris Bubblegum, Baroness of Riverford. Just about everybody else here has a title of similar eminence. Most of these titles mean not a damn thing here. So, we could have told you our names. It wouldn't really mean anything to you, unfortunately. It's part of the problem with time. You're right, and it's part of the problem with time travel.
I didn't even think it was possible. I remember hearing that crazy kooky guy, Dr. Hines, like yammering about it at some point, but like everyone thinks that dude is nuts. Like he's just.
You're not wrong. He is nuts. In time travel, in the way you probably understand it, probably isn't conventionally possible.
It
Unfortunately,
involved goldfish.
yeah, it
What?
gets. We'll get there. It gets a bit weird, but, well, from what you know of Dr. Hines, has he ever done any magic that wasn't at least 50% jank?
I mean, I didn't really know him too well, but I mean, yeah, that's kind of seems to be his reputation.
Yeah, that's the. Okay, good. Understand that the man earned his reputation. Everything he does is no less than 50 and probably closer to about 75% absolutely janky. And that's how we're here, is because, well, the time travel didn't exactly work. Is very much, as far as we can tell, a 1.5 way ticket.
I don't understand.
So time travel can get us here. Time travel can't really get us out.
Wait, we can't go back?
Do you know how to get back?
I thought we just ate the goldfish until we ran out of goldfish.
And then what?
I don't know. We get sucked back.
Yeah.
Because
See,
there's
there
no
we go. The answer is we don't know. We're gonna get there. We'll figure it out because our lives kind of depend on it.
Boris kind of looks like Filbert now.
Boris, when our lives have depended on, have we ever failed?
No.
Good. We're not about to start now.
We will also note that Hoblet is missing.
This is also not the first time for that either.
Yeah, but he didn't show up when you guys had popped back
Right.
for you.
And that
That was one detail that should not be overlooked.
that vision that you displayed for us was really for the audience, and none of the characters know
Correct.
where or what he is actually doing right now.
Correct.
Okay, so how do we know that you can trust us? Well, the second part of our time travel here is that we have a particularly janky mechanic of going back to a set point, which would be a little bit earlier today. And it involves some pretty janky mechanics of you know what, we're not going to get into the actual mechanics of that. We're going to keep a couple of things under the hat here. Needless to
wait,
say...
how many times have you done this? How many times have you talked to me? How many times have we been sitting here having this very same conversation?
Just this time. This is new.
Done this 3, 2 that actually means something. This is the first time we've spoken to you. The last time didn't go quite as well. Like, did we relay the point where we didn't quite make it to the cafeteria on time the first time?
Yeah.
Okay. So we knew about the cafeteria thing in advance. We know exactly how it went off or what was going to happen. But we kind of knew, so we were able to get there.
I mean, I don't know. I just remember this. Like, I was just like sitting there, like orders were flying in left and right, and people were just shouting all these competing like methods and things I had to do at me, and I just couldn't focus because everyone was just shouting so loudly. I was just like really overwhelmed, and I just couldn't handle it.
Okay, so future thing, stay out of food service. Even the mundane ones are like
I have to do it. We're like, all of us have to do it at some point before we graduate, and I've been putting it off for so long because I don't want to do this, but I have to. It's one of the things I just, it's just one thing after another thing. I can't just focus on figuring out what I actually like and like what I'm actually good at.
Good. I'm sorry I cut you off, Jarrell. Go ahead.
Oh, it's okay. Philbert, perhaps you can actually help us prevent what could be the worst explosion and potential catastrophe in the history of the world as we know it. Again, our history is after your history. But what do you know about the convergence that's happening in a day and a half now, or 2 days?
Okay. Look, it all started. You have to promise you cannot tell a soul, because even me telling you this, I've been told is going to be putting what I was planning on doing in jeopardy. But one night, I was feeling really down on myself, and this little creature showed up at my door in the middle of the night. It looked like a box, like just a metallic box with like 2 eyes and like these like really weird wiry limbs.
You're
And
describing a
this
Modron.
Weird. Yes, that's what it said it was. And it was telling me about the convergence, and it talked to me about how myself and really all of humanity and dwarvenkind and elvenkind, like all of the people who live on this realm, all are connected to this weave of magic that permeates everything. That's what this, what this ley line provides to us, right? Is this stability. I think there's another one too down south. I've never seen it personally, but I know about it. There's a project, there's a city sort of building up around it right now. In the same way that Uhl was. These are these magical hubs, and there's a way to unlock like their full potential. Because this power doesn't just exist here. Like I've been told, like this thing went on about the different planes and this like multiverse and like all of the different places that this energy comes from. Like this, like the source of magic doesn't just come from our world. It comes from worlds we don't even know about or have ever seen before. It comes from parallel worlds. It comes from like it's everywhere. It is ubiquitous. And apparently, during this convergence, we're going to be able to there's the opportunity to access the power from these other worlds. Like the lines between them, I guess, are going to be like very thin. Like I tried to write down like all these formulas and all these things that he was describing to me. It was just if I'm being completely honest, some of it went over my head, but it all kind of started to make sense the more he talked about it. And I started, when he told me that I'm destined to do great things, and that this could be a moment for me, and like it was just trying to find its way home, and so we were gonna work together. He told me I was never gonna. It told me I was never gonna see it again, but that I was supposed to go to where the to the ley line, while the convergence was happening, and follow this sequence of things that I wrote in my journal, and I would be able to improve the lives of everybody in the world, by giving everybody sort of that. Like I wanted to make magic something that everyone had at least like a base access to, some sort of inclination towards, so that anyone could be able to, like, if they're thirsty, create water for themselves. If they are, or even just be able to like use scrolls in a way that's safe, and just making magic something that's accessible to everyone and not just those with tremendous talent. So even people like myself.
That's a very noble goal.
Unfortunately, it appears that when this moment occurs, you also open the door for great evil to enter this world.
Did the Modron give you its name?
It was just some numbers. I actually, I wrote it in my journal, but it's at home.
Yes, it's in, what was,
Hedrick, Zero might remember it. Zero did read the entire journal.
Yeah. Hedrick, top left drawer, right?
Yep.
That's how you know we're telling you the truth.
Wait, you guys read my journal?
Cover to cover.
What we could.
Oh.
Some of us.
Didn't understand all of it, but to be fair, I give it a very fast skim. We were under a little bit of time pressure.
I mean, first of all, that's private, but I guess I understand given this.
Okay.
This is just...
Yeah. So, everybody in this room is doing a lot of jacked up stuff in the name of good intentions, right?
Pragnar enters the room again.
Yes, even him. Don't ask. We cannot explain it to you in the amount of time we have.
I still think we have plenty amount of time. We can find the hamster. Is that what we're talking about still?
Yes, but also no. But also yes.
By the way, who told them not to have the hamster? Because that is very mean and rude.
Wait, hold on. What does the hamster have anything to do with this?
Everything.
Filbert asks.
Absolutely nothing.
The hamster is the key to all of it.
There's a minor demon possession going on. It's really not important.
And the major
demonic possession
of my heart.
No, hold on a second. Did you say demonic possession?
Yeah,
That is serious.
Yeah, you'd
I
think,
mean,
but
for
not on
most
the scale we're operating on.
for most people it is serious. For us, it generally rises to the level of B plot.
Yeah, but I mean, like, listen, like, Uhl, like, typically takes care of, like, any sort of possession or even suspected possession, like, pretty quickly. Like, our mages are pretty good at spotting or detecting that sort of thing. Like,
Yeah, there's a hamster that is sick, and somebody told them not to take care of him.
but
If
hold
I
on
could
a second.
remind you all that hamster's intention was to be thrown into the ley line.
No, that was Balathor's intention.
Which is currently in control of the hamster, which we need to save before it gets thrown into the ley line and creates a demon in the ley line.
Separate the demon from the hamster, okay? We need to find the hamster and make him all better. I'll make him chicken soup so it works faster this time.
I just wait a second. I'm confused now. So is the hamster related to what we're trying to do or not? Filbert asks.
Yes.
Hopefully not. We're going to make it a definitely not.
Well, I bribed the guys at the front desk to bring it to us. So
Again?
yeah, this time with currency that is actually work from the sausage pocket.
I mean,
You gave them sausages, didn't you, Pregnant?
Yeah.
I'm starting to wonder more, who is this concierge that has access to such black market demonic possessed rodents who are highly trained? I mean, I couldn't get a hamster to do it, let alone a demon.
And it's a different employee today than it is tomorrow.
Fact of the matter,
But it's-
Filbert, what we're worried about here is, in the same way that, let's say, a hamster can be influenced by a demon, you may have been influenced by a Modron. And from what I know of those creatures, is they're highly functioning as a group. They have a lawful sense to their order. And when we encounter them, that is a cog that has fallen off of the wheel. That is not something that is a part of their order. That is not something that has fallen in line. That is something that
Yeah.
has gone rogue.
I mean, it was telling me that it was actually trying to, find its way home, but it did say that it was on the run.
I think we're talking about the same Modron.
What was his name? What was his name? It was
31 squared.
No, that's not it.
Oh! The plot thickens.
What's the square root of 31 squared? Was his name 31?
No, it was something like that though. It was like, it was I think it was 30 something. It was 30. I think it was like 33 cubed. I could be
Still-
wrong. Maybe it was
still good.
maybe it was 34.
Do you think... Now, we're aware that he's worried about his dad catching him, right? Or like hunting him down, pretty much? Because he's missing,
Yeah,
presumed kidnapped.
Yeah. Yes.
Do you think that perhaps you could go home and patch things up with your dad and then meet us on Friday morning?
What the hell am I going to say to him? Like, how am I going to explain how long I've been missing for?
I would suggest something along the lines of the truth, just without all the details. Usually works for me.
The man knows how to cast spells that, I mean, it's not like he's ever cast them on me, but like, I don't want to lie to him because I don't want him to have to like, I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't know what to do.
I feel like it's the infirmary's responsibility to keep track of their patients, isn't it? A little bit of a black eye on them.
Yeah, that's true.
Now you were plausibly unconscious at the time. I mean,
No,
you've
I'm
just
pretty
gone
sure-
through something.
Yeah.
How could you know what happened?
What, so I just claim amnesia?
You were just in an explosion. It's not the least believable thing I've ever heard.
Do you guys do this all the time or something?
Literally.
I feel like we all nod at the same
Professional.
time.
Pragnar gives him a blank stare.
Okay, look, I'm in. I want to do something good. So what do you need from me? Just what? Go
Make up.
find my way back to the infirmary, or do I just like go show up at home? Like what am I supposed to do? Like where do I go?
We could use.
He's probably
your
looking for
journal.
me. He's probably got magic. He's probably trying to scry on me right now.
I'm certain that he is probably.
Yeah, we didn't set up any anti-scrying defenses, did we?
No.
Womp womp.
But if you could get us your journal and then meet us again on Friday morning. Now, what time exactly was it that the convergence happened?
You can hear Quinn shout something from the bathroom. Between midnight and 4 a.m.
On Friday morning, right? It wasn't Saturday, it was Friday morning, I believe.
Well, because tomorrow's Thursday.
Yep, and then Friday's the third day.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, again, if you could patch things up and then meet us actually at night, on Thursday night, that would be the most productive for us. We have some things we have to take care of tomorrow, like exercising a hamster and creating Thursday brunch. But after that,
Why would anyone want to have brunch on a Thursday?
You'll
Trust me.
find out. You're going to hear about it on Friday and wish you knew about it Thursday. In fact, right now, you could get a little taste. Jarvel, you think you could whip up something for our friend here before we send him on his merry way?
I'm not sure I'm capable. Pregnant, do you have anything delicious?
Wait, I don't have that chocolate pudding anymore, do I?
No.
I don't remember what
That
you
was
have.
Reese's peanut butter cups away from me.
Do you still have some pocket sausage?
Oh yeah, I got.
Would you like? I have just the thing.
When he reaches into his pocket and just pulls out like a slimy sausage, Philbert's just
Oh,
like,
yeah.
I'm actually good. In fact, I think I've seen enough food.
Okay,
For the day.
suit yourself.
And Pragnar flips it up into the air and catches it in his big old
Gross.
maw.
I would like everyone to make me a perception check, please.
Uh oh. Fuck. Shit.
Let's just go around. 0.
24.
Oh wow, Nicole or Boris.
30.
Oh my God, Hedrick,
18.
Pregnart,
5.
beautiful. Terrell,
8.
excellent. 3 of you. Do you hear the clomping of boots somewhere in the distance down the street?
Okay.
Cool.
So it's either break time or fish time.
I guess we'll find out what time it is next week on the Hapless Heroes podcast. Yeah, I'm going to do that to you.
You would.
Sorry.
You're not really
sorry.
doing it to us. You're doing it to them.
I know, it's true. But also, sorry, not sorry. Hey, audience out there listening to us, wherever you're listening to us from. If you like us, you can find us on the internet. We're on such places as Twitter and Instagram. Look for us at Hapless Heroes. Unless Elon Musk has nuked our accounts out of existence by then. Who knows? Is that too topical? Should I just delete that?
No, by this time we probably will have purchased Twitter from Elon Musk using our Patreon money, I think.
Yeah, because we're so fucking loaded, right? I got $44 billion laying
We got
around.
45 billion in the Patreon. Suck that, Elon. Suck on
but
that.
Hey, you just search for us on social media. You'll find us. But what you'll also find are links to where we hang out most of the time and have lots of lengthy discussions with all of you beautiful people. And that is our Discord server, where you can meet, interact, and talk with us in the cast, and just even engage with our community. We got people from all over the place chatting and talking in there about D&D, about other stuff. We've had people share, pictures of their tattoos. Whackjob T, just today, I mean, we're gonna date ourselves, posted up a picture of him. He got a fucking Hapless Heroes tattoo, this guy.
That's
Come
fucked
on.
up.
That's fucked up. And
You
amazing.
crazy for this one, Whackjob T.
You crazy. But wow, I guess just
It seriously does blow my mind.
It blows my fucking mind. So wow,
good
cheers,
way.
dude. Cheers, dude. But yeah, you can see all this kind of crazy stuff unfold if you just come and join our Discord server, and it's a really great time. You should be there. And if you really like us, you could leave us a 5-star review on the podcast service of your choice. It really helps us get in front of more people, and we also just love reading all the nice things you say about us. And
We
if
got
your
a fresh
podcast
one,
service,
Fran?
we got a bunch. So I was gonna say, if your podcast service doesn't allow you to leave reviews, we have a channel in our Discord server as well called 5 Stars, where you could say some nice things about us, and we'll just say some nice things about you right back here on the air. So this one comes from looks like Lord Acid 1 in our Discord. I've been listening well over 7 months now, and I listen to the podcast at work, and it keeps my own D&D urges down a little. I love the jokes, puns, and lyrical song that is awesome and pregnant. Hopefully I spelled it right. You spelled it as pregnant, but I mean, that was the joke, right? Was that whole people... Yes, right. He says Pregnart does an awesome voice. 1 star for every
He's talking
cheddar
about my
and 2
speed. He thinks that Pregnart is the actual person, and then Pregnart's voice, awesome voice that he does, is my own speaking voice that I'm speaking with right now, I think.
That's true. Yeah, you're performing constantly when you're talking as Zach.
Oof.
Just
That
kidding.
hit a little too close to home.
Did it really? Oh God, I didn't mean for it to sound
Too
anything
real,
like that.
Fran. Too real.
God, I'm sorry. I didn't mean anything by it.
I don't know who I am.
All right. Well, thanks for the existential crisis, Lord Acid. But they do say 1 star for every chatter, 2 for the DM. Try to keep things in perspective and keep the story going. Just finished episode 207. Keep up the good work. Thanks, Lord Acid. You're awesome. And thanks for now spiraling Zach out into an existential crisis where he doesn't know
Yowza,
who he is anymore,
yowza.
where the line between him and his character is blurred ever further.
Reeling out my mind like a kite.
Anyways, if you really, really like us, you could donate to our Patreon. It's just patreon.com/haplessheroes. Got a bunch of rewards on there. Really, every penny that we get from Patreon comes back into making this show what it is today. Whether it's equipment, whether it's hosting costs, like all those things, like, you know, that's where we put that money back into. So we appreciate all the donations we've gotten so far. If you feel like we're worth your hard-earned dollars, we encourage you to take a look, see if the rewards, stuff like that, tickle your fancy, or if you just want to say, hey, we think you're awesome, like, that's a great way to do it. But honestly, like, just, you know, we just appreciate you. It's great. I don't really know what else to say about it. You're amazing.
And if you like us right now, you like us, Sally Field, and the whole deal. Take the theme song for Family Matters and make it about hummingbirds. And be sure to mention our podcast's name, Hapless Heroes Podcast, an original D&D campaign. And make it go viral or something. I don't know. Sprinkle a little magical pixie dust. Make Elon Musk buy it for $44 billion. Make sure you get some juice it up. You know, and you know, I guess promote our podcast that way. That seems like it makes sense. Take it, Fran.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, this is nothing left for me to do besides outro this cast for you. Starting on my virtual left, we have Dave as Zero, Valen's Avatar of War.
Good evening, everyone.
Nicole is Boris the Butcher.
Oh, this plan is working way better than Filbert Scissorhands would have.
Phil is Hedrick the Entertainer.
Just wait till I get going.
Zach is Pregnart.
Keep your enemies close and your friends annoyed.
And John is Lord Jarrell Delight.
Until next time.
And I'm Francesco. I've been your host and DM. We'll see you next week. Bye-bye now.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye. So long.